Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey guys, there he is. Welcome back. Welcome back. I tried to get back as quick as I could so you guys could see this. Perp walk just happened in Luigi Mangione. You're seeing him being led into the NYPD right now. I'm sure they'll play it again. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, welcome back, Harmon. Welcome back, Butter, Catherine. Crimes Have Consequences, Potato, Diana, Lucia, John Gone Girl. So they got him. They got him earlier. We did a deep dive on my other channel, like spontaneously, and I'm in the process of uploading it to the main channel right now. So it should be ready later. But we got some scoop on his family, y'all. Everything they own and everything else. This is nuts. This is nuts. I know this has turned into a super busy day. There he is. They're probably going to keep replaying it. Here, let's see if there's audio for this. Let's see if anybody yells anything. What's up, Heather? Welcome back. Toka, Trixie, Roberta. Sorry, my eyes are all blurry. I've been looking at my phone for a while. My eyes are old, y'all. Bear with me. Luigi Mangione is the suspect. There's going to be a press conference in about 20 minutes. Not a word was spoke. Come on in, guys. Come on in. 26 months. Aussie True Crime. 26 months. Thank you so much for your support. Over 2 years, girl. That is amazing. Thank you. And happy holidays to you. Oh, I got to find the dude's channel. That's right. He's got a live scheduled, guys. He just walked in the courthouse. Okay. So get this. He's got a live scheduled. Let me find it here. His name on YouTube is at Pep Mangione. So it's at PEPMANGIONE.
I think you've got a Ouija board down your pants. You're going to pull that out.
Why isn't it coming up? They took it down? It was set for the same time as the presser? Oh, that's creepy weird. Let's do this. What does that name mean? Pep Mangione. That's his name on X? Free Luigi is trending. Oh my God. Archive? What's this? Archive today? Will we see some deleted shit? I guess not. It's all going back to his Twitter. Look at this. Days before the killing, loved ones expressed. Hold on. Really? Obsessed. Daily Beast is a paywall? So something about his family. Hey, are you okay? Nobody has heard from you in months. And apparently your family is looking for you. But I can't open it. I was just wondering if he used that name for anything else. Let's see if this is still up. Yeah, his X account is still up. But remember, that has to go through Elon now, right? They hadn't heard from him in 6 to 12 months. Wow. They're getting set up for the press conference now. We still have about 15 minutes for that. Welcome in, everybody. Tuxedo Mask. Oh my God, Killer was like so brat. I'm jelly. Thank you for your super chat. I don't know what you mean by that. But thank you for your support. Okay, back to our regular screen right now. Woo. I actually want to go back to that perp walk again. They waited hours. Let's try to get a good screenshot. What the hell? I want to get a good screenshot, you know? Sorry if this is annoying. I'm just trying to get a good. Oh my gosh, really? He probably sees all the media right there, like, oh. I wonder who or what is in Altoona, or did he just get out of Dodge? You don't think it looks like the same guy? I would have to see him smile, I guess. Wait a minute. Didn't that guy have like a more of a slopey nose? Hold on. I'm screenshotting the shit out of this. Thank you, Crimes. It's not annoying. Thank you, Kels. He has got some tight ass curly hair. If you live in Towson, you must know his family then. PA court docs are coming in. Oh, yeah. People are already saying free Luigi for many reasons. Micro Kimmy, 11 months. 11 months, Micro Kimmy. Thank you so much. At the new year, we get to celebrate a year. Hey, Julie's. Hi, Kendo. Yes, his family is very well off. So let's go back to the press conference now because we don't want to miss that. We don't want to miss that. This case has blown my mind though from the beginning. It's one of those like true mysteries. All right, so here it is. They're having the press conference in Hollidaysburg, PA. So probably after this press conference, they'll release those documents. God. Yes, the Luigi's family is very well off. I'm uploading a deep dive right now. We did it earlier, but they own a country club. They own nursing homes, like skilled nursing centers. They have a hotel, a spa. They host weddings. Let me get this on full screen. They host weddings and things. Oh, there's not supposed to be any sound. As long as you hear me. You're supposed to hear me. I don't know what you mean, no sound. Explain yourself. I don't know what that means. Wop, 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 wop. Hey, Captain Ganja. Hey, Captain Ganja. Oh, you got no. You guys can't even hear the videos? Well, isn't that special? Why can't you hear it? Well, I better fix this before the damn thing starts, eh? Hold on. Let's try this again. I'm like, what do you mean? We've been watching shit. Yeah, he's like a martyr to some people, right? Dude.
I think he wants.
It was muted. That's why there's no audio. Oh my God.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
It's muted. You haven't heard it at all? Like at all? At all? What? You guys confused the freak out of me. Not too late, Ange. Hasn't began. We got about 8 minutes. Anyway, yeah, they own all these things. It's generational. His parent on the man,
You don't hold account.
the parent on the Mangione side, whether it's his mother or his father, they have 10 siblings or 9 siblings. There's 10 of them total, and they all have kids. They have a huge family, and they immigrated here from Sicily. Dude, I know this dude's whole history. We scoured the net. Yeah, you shouldn't hear the video. You should hear me. I'm your host, Jay with no E. So anyway, the deep dive is getting uploaded to YouTube as we speak. It's an hour and 12 minutes. So it's taking a minute. But listen, this guy's YouTube channel is now taken down. But look at what was on there a little bit ago. I'm going to show you. Freaky. What is a binary code? What does that mean, Potato? Potato said there was a binary code on his thumbnail. Look, I'm going to show you. Okay, check this out. He had a damn live scheduled, a premiere at 6:30 Eastern. The same time they're doing the press conference. How do you do that? I'm on a tilt-a-whirl and I can't get off. Check this out. Oops. This was the live that he had scheduled. Look. It says premieres in 47 minutes, October 9th. I don't know. I think it says 5:45 or something. And then it says Luigi Mangione. It's got his subscribers. And it's freaking him. And then they got rid of it. It's gone. The whole channel. Okay. Now look at the code that's on there. Look at this. What is that? The binary code says the truth will set you free. Weird. This is crazy, but how did he do this? He must have someone helping him. It says part 2. It says part 2. But then they got rid of it. And he has like 22,000. He got a whole bunch of subscribers. You did, Tammy? I think this guy's like disconnected from reality. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it seems like he was using psychedelics. He was big time on psychedelics and mental health. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys see it start somewhere else. Mossad PSYOP confirmed, says Tuxedo Mask. Tuxedo, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you. At the end, it said soon, December 11th. It did? Pattern recognition? I know, but Butter, he's got people that might help him. That's some scary shit, man. You think they might private it so it doesn't get shut down? Hey, 9mm. No, you don't have to be there for a premiere, but when was it scheduled is the question, you know? They're still getting set up here, guys. But when did he schedule that, you know? I mean, no one would know unless they found it right after the arrest. It would have said on there, though, when he scheduled it, I think. Is there a part 1 that he deleted? Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'm like enthralled with this. Just Googled Mossad. Oh God, what is that? Mossad is responsible for intelligence collection, covert operations, and counterterrorism. Its director answers directly and only to the Prime Minister. Mossad, Israel. Israeli intelligence agency. Yeah, that's a whole fucking rabbit hole. Here we go.
Known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania.
This is from earlier, but I'll let it play.
To interview this subject. This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying this subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated thoroughly, and we began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession. The NYPD provided these photos to numerous media outlets. Local, national, and international outlets released the photo via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified the NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
We're going to take questions on shooting first, and then we'll... Mark?
I had a couple questions about the document that he was found in possession with. Can you go a little bit more in depth about...
I'm just taking a brief pause to read this to you. As of 1 hour ago, per Alex Capriello on X, Luigi Mangione will be transported for a preliminary arraignment tonight in person in Hollidaysburg. My understanding is this is related to the gun charges in Pennsylvania, not the murder in Manhattan. There will be no audio or video. I'm on my way to the courthouse. That was an hour ago.
Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but if I had to, it would be the release of that photograph from the media.
Dean?
You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park in regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday. That came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling. At this time, we don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here? And when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there. And at some point, we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Anita?
Hi, Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-health care industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
And the capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
Oh, sorry. Can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA?
Same thing. This just happened this morning. We'll be working, backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if we knew anything, if he took a bus to
Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona. But
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Britain, is there any indication that anybody else was helping him from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movements?
Well, once again, we're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Can you get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation? I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
In this case, it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun you used in the shooting? And can you...
Gracie, thank you so much. That is so nice of you to say. Thank you for your super chat. And she said, Jay, thank you for covering every case and always doing it right. Well, I don't know if I always do it right, but thank you, Gracie, for having faith in me. I appreciate your support. Thanks. And happy holidays.
Oliver?
Yeah, Oliver Barnes from the Financial Times. Do you have any indication how long this handwritten, is it a handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and was he someone who you knew by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
You knew him by name before today. Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
Lynn? Brent? Okay. Does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else in the country?
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief, hi, how are you? On two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself and can he make that himself? Or would he have to buy the gun the way it was?
Okay, here is his mugshot. Thank you to Kels and Shell and Potato for figuring out that binary code. The truth shall set me, is what it said. This is him. Whoa-age. This is crazy. Crazy. Where did the other, Oh, there they are. Oh, someone's hugging. The ghost pew pew is when I guess he made it with a 3D printer and you buy the parts online. He's super smart. This guy's a genius, probably. The truth shall set me free. Yeah, and they should never have said it was an employee of McDonald's. That was so unfair. Now they need to put him in witness protection, or her. Whoever the person was that snitched on him, because there's a lot of people that did not want him caught.
Good job, Chief. All right, you're just listening in there.
You know what I'm saying? There was so many that didn't want him caught.
Providing an update, lots of pertinent information in the arrest as this strong person of interest, as they are calling it at this moment.
So, yeah, my video where I deep dived on his family. He's got a huge family, very wealthy family. Everything you wanted to know about Luigi Mangione. I'll be uploading right now for your viewing pleasure. So they must be arraigning him right now on the gun charges in Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's him holding a Happy Meal. Yes, ma'am. MK Ultra is interesting because Ted Kaczynski was a victim. Oh, look at that one.
Thompson, the slang pictured inside of his
I didn't have that one.
That is Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old,
Damn it.
where believed to be connected. They're still awaiting those DNA, though, to come back to officially. He's being held
He looks
there
like
on those gun
motherfucking Zac
charges,
Efron.
like you heard from authorities in this press conference from earlier today in New York City. They did recover a gun on his person, also a suppressor believed to be used.
Dude, he's a nice looking kid. I mean, what the heck? Yes, I do know the school. It is Gilman School. He went to Gilman School and he graduated in 2016. I have the Valedictorian speech on my channel if you guys want to watch it and actually hear his voice, hear him talk. It was called Founders Day at Gilman School in 2016. He has ties close to home. He does. He looks like Zac Efron, doesn't he? Yeah, the news guy's muted. Yes, ma'am. He reads a lot. He's very smart.
Number on it. So there is a reason they're potentially linking them to this crime. Officers questioned Mangione, who was acting suspiciously, carrying multiple fraudulent IDs.
James
as well
Franco,
as a US
yeah, him
passport,
too.
according to New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, said at the news conference. She said the suppressor was, quote, consistent with the weapon used in the murder. He had clothing and a mask similar to those worn by the shooter of the fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the one the suspect used to check into a New York City hostel before the shooting. So you can see a microphone being set up, pictures being taken, as this one expected to begin in just a matter of moments.
Okay, well, they're 10 minutes late already. Yes, he was valedictorian. Look what I tagged you in Discord. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the private school. That's what we were saying. I have the video of his speech. It was Gilman School in Maryland. Hold on, guys. I can only do so many things at once. I'm a one-woman show. Hold on. Yeah, we read that, Kimmy. It's in my deep dive. I'm telling you, we went deep on this mofo right after his name was announced. We were all over it because someone came in my chat and said, he's from the town I live in. And then they're like, he owns this, his family owns this country club. Once we looked up the country club and we're in that town, it was all done. We found uncles, aunts, grandparents. We got pictures of all of them, the whole family. We deep dived. When I say it, we did. The manifesto was something about healthcare. That's all we know so far. You're from Tosin, Michelle Wilhelm. Yeah. And you probably heard, like I said, you probably know all about his family because they're all over. There's like 10 brothers and sisters. They own 2 golf courses. And then he also had the picture of, that golf course, that country club is a spa hotel. They host weddings, events. It's crazy. Thanks, Lip Locked. It was full. Hey, preps. I think they have them preps. I'm not sure. You don't think it looks like them Prepper 101? I don't know. This is wild. This is one of those wild ones. Did you guys see, though, that he had that live scheduled and Potato, deciphered what it meant? This thing here. Let me show you again. This is some weird shit. This is what he had up earlier. If you guys are just joining, look at the comments, too. They're like, oh, what is happening? December 9th at 5:45 premieres in 47 minutes. They took his channel down. There was no description. It just says part 2. That is some creepy stuff. The chat was flying. Oh, dude, his family is probably devastated. I mean, they have a huge family. In his grandparents' obituary, it said they had something like 32 grandkids and like 20-some great-grands. I mean, big family. And it sounds like, you know, they're very well known in their town. I bet you that whole town is shook. Hey, Tim Sparks and Seaboing. Oh, okay, good idea, Tim. So you guys can watch this whole thing, but if you guys play a little bit of it for you, it's nuts. Okay, so it's right here.
All set. Congratulations. Thank you.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck, members of the Board of Trustees, family, friends, faculty, and fellow students, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Gilman's 116th Founders Day. I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016. When I started writing this speech, I talked with several students and teachers and asked how they would describe the class of 2016. Many of the students characterized our class as inventive, in both imagination and initiative. At the same time, several teachers reminded me of our class's commitment to Gilman and its traditions. I came to realize that both views are correct. The class of 2016 is truly defined by its inventive, pioneering mentality that accompanies a strong commitment to Gilman tradition. Throughout its time here at Gilman, the class of 2016 has been coming up with new ideas and challenging the world around it. Our selling of Chick-fil-A during lunch, arguably the staple of our class, provides a great example. In our sophomore year, when brainstorming ways to fundraise, we didn't just settle for the usual methods of selling spirit shirts and Christmas trees. In addition to this, we did what seemed impossible given the tight schedule of the school day and began shuttling dozens of Chick-fil-A sandwiches to Gilman between assembly and lunch. Soon, we were selling over 100 Chick-fil-A sandwiches each day, in what became likely one of the most successful class fundraisers in Gilman's history. But our ability to come up with new ideas didn't start then. I've noticed it as long as I've been here, even in my very first year as a 6th grader. If any of you have ever been on Gilman's campus before school starts, you would have noticed that every morning, rain or shine, the turf is filled with middle school students playing soccer, football, and frisbee. That tradition was actually started by the class of 2016. As many of you know, Gilman Middle School offers not one, but 2 recesses per day. But for the class of 2016, that wasn't enough. So, as 6th graders, rather than sitting in the hallways waiting for school to begin, we decided we'd give ourselves an extra morning recess before the morning even started. And now, 7 years later, that morning recess remains as a regular part of every school day. Of course, this isn't anything revolutionary, but it shows that even early on, the class of 2016 was challenging the world around it. Having great ideas, however, isn't enough to innovate. The class of 2016's inventiveness also stems from its incredible courage to explore the unknown and try new things. Just look at a few highlights from our senior year. This April, 5 seniors performed in Gilman's spring musical, The Addams Family, all of whom had no prior musical experience. 3 seniors, Jeremy Booth, Gus Meny, and Jake Goodwin, lended lead roles, while Tommy Morey and Chris Wolf helped put on the show that I doubt any of us will forget. How about this winter, when Kevin Wang delivered his senior speech? As Kevin moved to America and joined our class in 9th grade, English isn't his first language. But that didn't stop him from delivering a both hilarious and thought-provoking speech about his transition to the United States. How about Ray Saunders leading Gilman's first-year cybersecurity team? Even competing against hundreds of veteran teams, the Gilman squad managed to advance to the state and then regional championships. All of these endeavors took a huge amount of courage. They demonstrate that the class of 2016 truly has the fearlessness to explore new things and the obvious ability to excel. But as inventive as the class of 2016 is, our class was able to explore the new while also preserving the old. Just look back at the most significant and magical night of our senior year, the 100th annual Gilman-McDonough football game. After hundreds of hours of preparation, our seniors led the Gilman team to victory. Competing in the second oldest football rivalry in the state of Maryland, however, they represented not just this year's team, but Gilman as an institution and all the alumni that preceded them. So the class of 2016 not only explored new frontiers, but also maintained Gilman's most important traditions. I think this combination of preservation and exploration is what Gilman is all about. Gilman maintains its classic core values by cultivating mind, body, and spirit in its students, but also champions an environment of acceptance and diversity, while excelling in its technological endeavors.
Welcome,
this
Gracie.
This is such a strong part of Gilman. It's even evident in its physical geography. Just look to the construction outside Gilman, or outside. Gilman is actively rebuilding itself, but its brand new fields sit next to classic buildings like Cary Hall. Further, these new constructions, for example, Sotier Stadium, bear with them Gilman's rich history in their names.
The dude behind him, you mean the guy, the bald guy? He's like the dean or something.
So it's no surprise that the class of 2016 picked up this ability to explore both new and old. And it's no surprise they were able to achieve all they did this year, these last few years as well. But it wasn't just Gilman as an institution that shaped our experience here. The people in our lives,
thank you,
especially
Flower
our parents
Bro,
and teachers, had such huge roles as well. The parents here today, first off, sending us to Gilman was far from a small financial investment. I'd like to personally thank each of you for sending your sons here, as I can't imagine the class of 2016 without any one of these men on stage. Further, thank you for all the time and love you've put into our lives. You've instilled values in us, fed and clothed us, and simply been there for us every step of the way. I'd also like to thank every Gilman teacher and faculty member here today throughout all 3 divisions of the school.
Does he thank his parents?
Well, the events and accomplishments I've mentioned in the speech were meant to highlight the imagination and courage of the class of 2016. These occurrences also drew heavily from your efforts. Our imagination draws from your inspiration, and our courage largely depends on your encouragement in the classroom, on the fields, and on the stage. So parents and faculty, thank you for all you have done for us. Today is as much an achievement for you as it is for us. As I conclude my speech, I have to remember that a valedictory, by definition, is a farewell. We seniors have been hiding from it all year, and I've even been avoiding it in my speech. But now it's time to face the truth. Our time as Gilman students has come to an end. It seems like just yesterday that we were freshmen, having tie wars and playing computer games in CT20, but now we're moving on. Just like we've done these past few years, we'll be exploring the unknown, whether that be attending colleges across the country, traveling the world during gap years, or fulfilling military service in foreign countries. As we embrace the new, however, we won't forget the old. Our friendships, values, and memories from Gilman will always stay with us. So, to the class of 2016, a kind of class that only comes around once every 50 years. It's been an incredible journey, and I simply can't imagine the last few years with any other group of guys. Thank you.
What do you guys think? Oh my God, a backpack full of Monopoly money. I know, crazy. Still waiting, guys.
That police were sending out asking the public for help.
It seemed like it was very warm in there.
Saying it's good old-fashioned police work. That was the words there from the press conference early this morning, courtesy of New York City Mayor Eric Adams and others, talking about the final arrest and putting into custody of this.
It was reinstated? What? Maybe they just privated it.
This manhunt that transpired
Okay, let's look.
over the last week or so. All right, I'm Andy Mack here on Live Now from Fox.
At
Let's slide away for another quick 2-minute
Pep.
break as we still figure out some of the tech issues that we are having, but also await this press conference there in Blair County, Pennsylvania.
No, it's not. It's not there. It's totally not there. Damn it. That music's gonna F me up. Mysterious video. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. What's the Jim Heath channel? You emailed it to me? I'm sorry. I've just got a lot open right now. I've got 2 computers and a phone. The presser's starting. And they're at a commercial? Are you fucking kidding me? Who's playing it? Y'all, this shit pisses me off. Fucking Fox and their commercials. Yeah, he's all about AI. 1 block from your friend? Whoa. Cheryl, that's crazy. No, they're at a commercial. The hell was that? Oh, I'm pissed.
From authorities there in Blair County, Pennsylvania, in the arrest of Luigi Mangione. This is an image from Fox News Digital of Luigi Mangione, believed to be involved in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. We're seeing authorities now at the microphone here, expected to give an update on what's going on, what happened at this McDonald's early this morning as the strong person of interest taken into custody. Let's dive into this here on Live Now from Fox. The shot is not great, so we're going to warn you about that at this point, as it is somewhat difficult to see. There are you imagine difficult with all of the amount of media on hand for this. So let's dive into this.
Did he pee his pants?
Hear what they are saying here on Live Now from Fox.
Well, thanks for finally getting us there.
All right, so you're seeing they're potentially awaiting for someone there to step up to the podium as they have the backdrop available in Blair County. So no one talking.
We didn't miss anything.
This is a live picture. We're going to stick with it because this has been the biggest story of the last week or so since that grisly shooting, the fatal shooting, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. I was here in the anchor chair for the initial press conference as we were trying to piece together what happened that morning, and more importantly, why it happened early this morning or early Wednesday morning. The manhunt continued for day after day, nearly a week, until a McDonald's employee called in to authorities saying that they saw a person that looked like the suspect that was involved in the fatal shooting of Brian Thompson. Authorities did apprehend this individual, detained them. arrest them, put them in custody on gun charges, expected to be extradited to New York soon about this. So they're about to step up here in just a matter of moments. Luigi Mangione arraigned in Pennsylvania. Let's listen in to authorities in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, provide an update.
About time.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Deputy Chief Derek Swope of the Altoona Police Department. Today we're going to go through an incident that occurred in the city of Altoona. This morning at approximately 9:14 a.m., Altoona police officers received a call of a suspicious male at a local restaurant. It was reported that the male matched the description of the United Healthcare murder in New York City. When officers arrived, they made contact with the male who had a face mask on. That male was asked to remove his face mask, and officers immediately recognized him as a suspect in the New York City shooting in recent days. That male was asked for a form of identification. He then provided a fake identification card out of New Jersey. After a brief investigation, it was determined that the ID provided was in fact a fake ID, and he was subsequently arrested for a forgery charge. Once he was taken into custody for that forgery charge, he was transported to the Altoona Police Department. Once at the Altoona Police Department, that male was searched instant to arrest. It was discovered that he had a United States passport that identified him as, Luigi Mangione. From there, continued search of his property. A firearm was located, and a suppressor was also located. There are also other items of evidentiary value that were located that would assist in this investigation. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Governor Shapiro for some words.
Thank you, Southern-ish, for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Swope. And let me acknowledge and thank the law enforcement who I'm joined with today, beginning with Lieutenant Colonel Bivens of the Pennsylvania State Police. I want to thank Senior Special Supervisory Agent Szabo from the FBI, and acknowledge NYPD Commissioner Daughtry and the women and men of the NYPD who join us here today, District Attorney Weeks, who you will hear from shortly, and I just concluded a briefing with Mayor Adams and Commissioner Tisch from New York. I want to begin by thanking our fellow Pennsylvania resident who acted as a hero today. Pennsylvania resident saw something early this morning at McDonald's and said something to our local police. And our local police here in Altoona acted swiftly. I want to say a special thanks to Officer Tyler Fry of the Altoona Police Department. Officer Fry is about 6 months into his time serving his fellow people here in Pennsylvania, and he acted swiftly. He acted with smarts, and he acted with calm. You know, safety often turns on the strength of the relationship between the community and law enforcement. We have that strong relationship here in Altoona, and it was proven here today. I want to ask all of our fellow Pennsylvanians to demonstrate the same type of thoughtfulness and courage and smarts as the individual at McDonald's did this morning, and help law enforcement here in Pennsylvania as we continue with our investigation. You'll see photos of the suspect who is here, and you should know that this suspect traveled between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, making stops in between, obviously here in Altoona. I want to ask all of our fellow Pennsylvanians to help us with any tips that they might have by contacting us at 800-4-PA-TIPS. Again, that number is 800-4-PA-TIPS. The suspect was just arraigned here in the courthouse, and Presumably, New York will file charges very, very soon. That process will continue to play out, and justice will be delivered in this case. This case is hinged on attention. In fact, the attention in this case and the killing of Brian Thompson was helpful, no doubt, in allowing us to capture this killer, in alerting that individual at McDonald's this morning, and then having that individual contact police. But some attention in this case, especially online, has been deeply
there's a glitch.
disturbing,
What the heck?
as some have
Did y'all
looked
see
to
that?
celebrate instead of condemning this killer. Brian Thompson was a father to two. He was a husband, and he was a friend to many. And yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company. In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint. I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most. In a civil society, we are all less safe when ideologues engage in vigilante justice. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning. The real heroes every day in our society are the women and men who put on uniforms like these and go out in our communities to keep us safe. This killer was not a hero. He should not be hailed. Mr. Thompson, I understand, was laid to rest earlier today in Minnesota in a private setting. As the conversation continues about this case, let's be mindful not to dehumanize him and make him just an avatar of a system that is disliked by many. He was a father, he was a husband, and he did not deserve to die like this on a sidewalk in New York City. I again want to thank all law enforcement who's present here this evening. Law enforcement works best when it works together. In this case, you have the New York Police Department working together with the Altoona Police Department, working together with our Pennsylvania State Police and our partners at the federal level as well. Everyone came together to solve this case and keep the public safe. I again want to ask my fellow Pennsylvanians, if you have any information regarding this suspect or his travels throughout Pennsylvania, please share those tips with us immediately. And with that, I want to thank District Attorney Weeks for his important work today and invite him to the microphone to say a few words.
Thank you, Governor Shapiro. Good evening, everyone. I would echo the governor's sentiments. Law enforcement does work at its best when they work together. I'd also like to thank District Attorney Seidel. He and his staff came down from the Manhattan District Attorney's office today in record time to assist us at the Altoona Police Department. And as the governor stated, the state police, the Altoona Police Department, the FBI, the New York City Police Department, Logan Township Police Department, the Blair County Sheriff's Department, and other agencies all worked together today to do what needed to be done to seek justice. I would, I often brag about
why is there a pointer on his ear,
community
y'all?
in Blair County isn't afraid to say something, to report a crime, to contact local law enforcement. And I've often touted how they've made their community, whether it be Altoona or somewhere else, a safer place to live. And today I submit that a resident from Altoona and the Altoona Police Department helped make New York City a safer place to live and helped kickstart the process to seek justice for a senseless killing. So again, I'd like to thank everybody, and it's my honor to introduce Deputy Commissioner Daugherty at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DA. On behalf of the New York City Mayor Eric Adams, my boss, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, wants to extend once again their appreciation to the Altoona Police Department, to your leadership team, the federals, state, local authorities, and especially to the customer at the McDonald's that seen something, said something to the McDonald's employee that called 911 and reported this individual inside of their restaurant. The men and women behind me, the detectives, some of these detectives that are standing behind me haven't been home since Tuesday when this incident happened. They've been working this case tirelessly around the clock. And when they got that phone call, immediately they jumped in their car, the police car, and raced down here to go see if this was the individual that we were looking for. That's dedication. Their commitment to bringing this individual to justice is just standing behind me. And on behalf of the mayor and the police commissioner, they extend their thanks and appreciation to you as well. Here's a message to the criminal element that think that they want to commit a crime in New York City and cross state lines, county lines. The message is very clear. Police Commissioner Tisch's police department will find you and bring you to justice. Just look behind me. Thank you.
I think with that, we'll be happy to try and take a few questions.
Governor, question, I guess maybe for the local enforcement about the arrest specifically today. I don't know who.
We'll defer to Altoona Police.
I guess I'm curious if we could hear a little bit more about the dynamics. If you could set the podium there. Sure. We could hear a little bit more about the dynamics inside that McDonald's. I know there was some detail in the affidavit about what happened when the individual was asked if he's been to New York. Could you speak a little bit to his demeanor and how that played out?
Sure. So it was a peaceful arrest, first and foremost. The officer quickly recognized the male as the suspect from the shooting. And within several minutes, seconds of the first contact, he had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently. And that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question. And he didn't really answer it directly. So that statement alone really said a lot. And the suspect didn't have to say a lot after that question to show that, he was very nervous at that point.
Was that the officer that the governor mentioned who was new on the job, who was involved in that?
Yes, so Officer Fry's here to my left. Officer Fry, you step this way a little bit. And then his partner that he was with, Officer Joe Detweiler.
Officer, could you maybe identify yourself and maybe describe that whole interaction and what played out? Spell your name.
Yeah, Patrolman Fry, Tylerfrye. So whenever we got on scene there, we were able to pretty much find where he was at in the restaurant. And as soon as
he's brand new, by the way.
Medical mask. As soon as we pulled that down, or we asked him to pull it down, me and my partner and I recognized him immediately, just from what we saw in the media with photos, videos. We just didn't even think twice about it. We knew that was our guy, but he was very cooperative with us. Didn't really give us too many issues. Once we found out his identity, we took it from there.
How did it feel with 6 months on the job as a law enforcement officer to be part of?
I can't say I was expecting it by any means, but it feels good to get a guy like that off the street, especially starting my career this way. It feels great.
So upon his arrest, has he made any statements since his arrest? Has he asked for a lawyer yet?
To my knowledge, he hasn't made any statements.
How long was he staying in Altoona, and where was he staying? And then was the gun on himself, or was it in like a car somewhere?
We are still investigating how long he's been in Altoona. There's still a lot of follow-up to do in this case. Again, the men and women behind me are assisting with that. So we're still looking into it.
I'm going to ask Lieutenant Colonel Bivens of the Pennsylvania State Police to address the question you just raised.
Thank you. So there are a lot of things that need to be followed up yet in this investigation. Certainly, there were a number of items that were found on his person, in his backpack, that have been inventoried.
He's glitching.
And we've begun to do an analysis of some of those. There were written documents. There are electronic devices that are in the process of being downloaded. Search warrants are obtained. And so over the next hours and days, those efforts will continue. And we're going to take a closer look at all of the information that we can glean from that regarding his activities up until and during the time of the homicide, his flight from New York. And we know that he has been in Pennsylvania, excuse me, for several days. And so part of that investigation will also focus on trying to retrace his steps. We've already identified businesses, for example, that he frequented in this area and activities that he engaged in. That led us to more evidence. And so all of that is becoming kind of a mountain of evidence that has to be analyzed and looked at. I'm confident we'll have a much better idea of his activities over the past number of days in New York and in Pennsylvania. Additionally, we're also trying to determine that we don't have another actor or an accomplice out there. And so this information will all be used to help us prove or disprove
so they don't know
whether that exists and whether there were any other intended targets. So a lot of questions that are out there that are unanswered yet, but we have a lot of information that we can examine that hopefully will give us some of those pieces of data that we need. You asked, or someone asked about the interview. He was initially cooperative. He is not now. And so he has been arraigned and transported and will be securely housed.
He's lawyered up.
Pending the filing of additional charges in New York.
Governor Shapiro, you mentioned that he was in Pittsburgh at some point. Is that correct? What
Yes.
do you know about that time in Pittsburgh?
We're not going to get into any more details at this time. We would like to hear from any Pennsylvanian or any Pittsburgher who had any sightings or any dealings with the individual. That's why I specifically asked for anyone with tips to share that with us.
Can you talk about the extradition to New York? How does that process work? I know that you have your piece here, but what happens with the New York part of it?
And how long does it take?
Thank you.
So that answer depends. Once the charging documents are filed in the state of New York, we will file a fugitive justice complaint against the defendant. He'll be brought before a common pleas judge shortly thereafter, and the defendant will be presented with the option to waive his extradition or to contest his extradition. If he waives his extradition, we of course will make him available to the NYPD and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office as soon as we're able to arrange his transportation there. If he contests it, that process typically takes between 30 and 45 days to do the requisite paperwork, but we do that all the time in our office, and that's kind of a normal procedure.
On the matter of the backpack itself right now, the backpack itself, you had the one that was in New York. Do we know if that's the same one that he had the time of the shooting there, or is this backpack that he had here one that he may have acquired? And the findings inside, the gun, the silencer, and cash, some foreign currency as well, is that correct?
I'll defer to someone else. I'm not going to speculate on any of the interpretation of the evidence. I'm going to rely on the officers doing the investigation to complete that and reach their conclusions.
Can we say that at this point he is a suspect in the hit on the United CEO? Can we call him a suspect at this point? Obviously, he was arrested on.
Yes, as we confirmed at his preliminary arraignment, with the permission of District Attorney Seidel, we expect charges to be filed forthwith, and obviously that I'm not going to speculate on that timing, but tonight or tomorrow or sometime in the very near future for homicide.
And inside into your
clarify one quick.
Sorry, sir, can I just ask? In terms of the officers investigating this case, can you say any more about a suspected possible motive?
So at this point, we're not going to comment on that. I mentioned that there is a lot of information to go through. Certainly everything has been or will be shared with NYPD, but there is other information that really doesn't even pertain to that investigation. It, again, focuses more on his activities here in Pennsylvania and other travels. So all of that, hopefully, will shine more light on it. There is some information that gives us some insight into his thinking, but again, all part of the ongoing investigation and way too early to discuss that.
As far as the NYPD, we're not going to be commenting on the investigation steps here. In the next couple of days, there'll be a media availability at One Police Plaza, and Commissioner Tisch will update. Commissioner Tisch and the Chief of Detectives, Joe Kinney, will update the media at One Police Plaza. But I will be happy to talk about that. The Commissioner Tisch and the New York City Mayor did FaceTime Officer Fry and then thanked him for their service. So that was he got a pretty cool phone call from the mayor and our police commissioner.
Do we know how he got
Okay.
to Pennsylvania? Was it through aircraft, train, bus? How did he arrive in Pennsylvania?
Again, we do have a good idea of that, but all part of the ongoing investigation.
But just to clarify, Governor, you had suggested, I think I heard you, I want to make sure I heard it right, that he, I guess he took a bus from the terminal at the George Washington Bridge to Philly, and then from there he was around the state around up here, or is that your, can you be any more specific about how you think this works?
Well, again, I'll jump in as it's all part of the ongoing investigation. And so, yes, we do have a good idea how he got from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, but there are some gaps in time. And so before we start laying out a timeline of his travel, we really need to work through all of that. And so we know that at some point it is likely he was in a variety of locations across the state, to include Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and points in between.
And then Altoona, so Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and then he made his way back here.
Again, that'll all be part of the, logically, he's caught here in Altoona, so logically he was in those locations first. But again, the timeline of all of that will be part of the ongoing investigation.
What was happening? Evaded detection for several days. Obviously, he was caught at McDonald's this morning. Guy's got to eat. For the past few days, he's been on the run for multiple days at this point. How did he manage to evade detection for so long?
So I think, again, as part of the ongoing investigation, when we determine where he's been, where he's stayed, those kinds of things, we may be able to answer some of those questions. But right now I will tell you that based on everything that we have seen, he was very careful with trying to stay low profile, avoid cameras, not all that successfully in some cases. But that was certainly the effort he was making. He took steps to try and, avoid detection with some of the electronic devices and things as well. So, again, all part of the investigation, but clearly, somebody that was very security conscious and trying to avoid someone identifying.
He had no criminal record, and this was a name that was not previously known to law enforcement?
I am not aware of a criminal history on this individual.
I know, Mrs. Upperthigh.
It was mentioned in the hearing, and then the defendant said that those were waterproofing bags. Could you speak a little bit more to what was taken into evidence today?
No, not at this point. Again, I've spoken generally about what's there, but at this point, everything remains under investigation, and we'll have much more information, and New York will certainly have information for you in the future.
How confident are you this is the suspect? Is there still a search for any other suspects other than the accomplice or potential accomplice?
We're still going to canvass. We're still going to investigate. Like I said before, we're going to provide an update in a couple of days by the police commissioner.
Couple of days.
Back at
He looks like he's been programmed.
I will say this though: if anybody out there that has any information that they think that will help this case, to please contact our tip line, which is 1-800-577-TIPS. And remember, all calls are kept confidential.
Just to clarify, the customer spoke with the employee called 911.
That is my understanding, yes, sir.
Was it a customer that recognized the suspect first, told an employee, and the employee rang police? Is that correct?
The employee recognized us.
Yes, my understanding, I was just confirming, but my understanding is the employee became suspicious, thought they recognized, and wanted someone to check it out further.
Because someone referred to a customer.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, did I say the employee? The customer recognized, notified an employee, and wanted someone to check it out further.
Can you confirm which restaurant it was? Was it the one on Plank Road?
I'm not familiar with the address of that. It's a McDonald's, but yes, they tell me it is.
The suspect disputed the currency. Can you explain why there might be discrepancy or how much he was found to have?
Again, we're not going to talk
How much
about what was
Monopoly
found
money
in
did he
the-
have?
in the bag. We have accurately cataloged everything that was in there, and that'll be a matter for the future.
DA Weeks, could you repeat what you said in court about that money?
What?
I certainly stand by all the comments I made at the preliminary arraignment, but I'm not going to comment any more on the evidence at this time. My comments at preliminary arraignment were in support of my argument for bail. Thank you.
We probably have time for one or two more questions.
What?
Is he being held at a county or state facility?
He will likely be taken to a state correctional institution later this evening.
Can I just say specifically for Pennsylvania law enforcement, over the past few months, you've had attempted assassination of former president, now president-elect. Now you've had this. What do you think about that?
Ooh, what do you think about that?
Violence can never be used.
What?
To address political differences or to address a substantive difference or to try and prove some ideological point. That is not what we do in a civilized society. That was true in Butler. It was true in New York City. And it's true anywhere. That is not how you make progress in this country. The suspect here, who shot at that CEO and killed that CEO, is a coward, not a hero. And we need to make sure that in this country, we get back to having a civil discourse about our differences. And that is an important lesson coming out of Pennsylvania, and it is one that I think the rest of the nation needs to hear as well. On a law enforcement side, I will tell you that I am incredibly proud of the Pennsylvania State Police and local police in Butler and here in Altoona, who responded in a way that kept others safe and saved other lives. That was true at the fairgrounds in Butler, and it was true here today in Altoona. Had that local Pennsylvanian not spoken up, had that wonderful police officer who's been on this job for 6 months not acted calmly and swiftly, God knows what could have happened. So I think the lessons coming out of Pennsylvania that violence is not a way to answer questions and address problems, and that we have the gift of law enforcement here in this Commonwealth who care deeply about the safety and well-being of our fellow Pennsylvanians and our fellow Americans, and I commend them for that.
Thank you all.
All right, you can just see as they wrap up this press conference there in Blair County, Pennsylvania. You saw Governor Josh Shapiro and other members of law enforcement provide an update on the arrest of Luigi Mangione. And they said
I'm reading your comments, y'all, and I know a lot of you think this sounds weird. They're calling him a hero all over. Yes, Free Luigi is trending on X. I mean, Twitter is going crazy about him. I want to know why he was targeted as well. Just like any other crime, I want to know why. Just like the sheriff who shot the judge. I want to know why. I mean, we could only guess that it's because the healthcare costs and shit like that. Are you okay? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, sorry. False alarm. Everything's good. Everything's cool. So yeah, this video just got done uploading. I am going to make it public right meow. Now bear with me on this because this is clipped from my live stream earlier. So it's a lot of, searching around in real time, but I hope you guys get something out of it. It was kind of weird, but then again, this whole crime is weird. This whole crime is weird. Yes, everything's perfect. I thought somebody fell, but they're fine. They're okay. Let me give you guys the link. So you guys can go watch this. But thanks for tuning in. We will definitely follow this. I'll see if I can pull those documents after they release. We will stay on top of this one faux show.
You don't hold account.
Byron, thank you for subscribing today. Everybody who's new here, thank you for subscribing. And consider becoming a member if you like what you see. We cover all kinds of true crime over here. This is actually an intriguing case, though, for real. I mean, it's just not every day that something like this shit happens. And then you got this guy, this kid, he's rich. He's got a humongo family. Here's the link. You guys go check that out. And please leave me a comment in the comment section of that video. And let me know what you think of what I found. We were on Reddit. We were all over the place. So you just have to be patient with me. But thank you so much, guys. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to be covering The Sheriff Shoots the Judge. I Shot the Sheriff. You'll get portaled there. We're just going to run our credits. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. And thank you, moderators. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.